Namaste. Welcome to the Quantum Spirituality Podcast. I am your host, Self Heal with Liz, coherence body talk practitioner and expert observer. I am a mirror reflecting self-sovereignty and playful presence to guide you in intentionally tuning into your own authentic vibrational signature and regulated nervous system. This is a living, breathing invitation to become an active participant in observing your own life with curiosity instead of judgment. So join me as we recalibrate our electromagnetic fields into heart-brain coherence, in feeling safe to navigate our thoughts and emotions with confidence. May you always remember that you are divinely taken care of and have the ability to handle anything that comes your way.
The art of observing through the lens of quantum spirituality. So the way that I describe my perspective of life is I use coherent, intentional attention. Coherence meaning I'm paying attention to my physiology of my brain, and I'm paying attention to my parasympathetic mode of my nervous system. And that's like the first filter I use is like, am I in fight or flight right now? Or am I in rest and repair? And coherence is like being able to pay attention in the first place. So my body's relaxed, I'm safe, I can focus. The brain waves in my brain are theta right now. I'm like alert, assertive, with calm awareness. That's coherence. Coherent. Intentional is I get to choose. Like, I'm aware that I get to choose what I want to focus on. As God expressing self through Lizzie, I am choosing what I want to think about, what I want to focus on. I'm choosing playful presence, and I'm choosing positive mental attitude, and softness in my body, and clarity in my mind, and default mode of like relaxed and safe, navigating whatever comes my way. That's intentional. Attention is what I'm actually observing. Like right now I'm observing the trees and the birds sitting on the telephone wires, right? So right now the birds have my attention, but my attention is also being pulled because I'm aware that I'm recording myself. So a great way to start practicing this is using your five senses. Okay? Like in the present moment, what are you tasting? Right? What do I taste? Lemon water, because that's what I just drank. But on a subtle level, I also taste like the sweetness of life. And then as I inhale, it's like that sense of safety, right? I'm safe, I'm relaxed right now in this mode, in this moment. And what do I smell? Maybe some sage from when I was smudging myself earlier. And then I go to, what do I hear? I hear the sound of the spa, and I hear the airplane. But I also hear my internal dialogue, and I hear my intuition. So it's like I'm doing all of it at once. And then seeing, like using my eyes, yeah, I see the birds have my attention. But like, even though I'm experiencing sight and the birds have my attention, and I see the colors green, lots of green and blues and whites, this is an interesting test to do. Like, where you are currently listening to this podcast, see if you can step outside and notice what you observe, what color you see the most of. Just take a moment. Even if you're not outside, you can just play the game and wherever you currently are, what color do you see the most of? Now, usually when we look outside, we're looking at things that are touching the earth and focusing on those colors. But what about if you look up, right? It might be a blue sky, it might be a white, gray, cloudy sky. It might be a dark, stormy, rainy, wet sky, So just interesting, like, are you looking up or are you only looking focused down what's right in front of you? So the invitation with your sense of sight is, yes, observe your current present moment, but also zoom out and see the bigger picture. And then we have sense of touch, right? Touch is fun because what am I touching? I'm touching water and I'm touching plastic. But I also am touching the earth, right? Energetically, spiritually. And I'm also touching the universe, like the cosmos and the stars, because I have a really beautiful electromagnetic field that can expand. Like, it naturally expands. And sometimes people, feel unsafe in the world, so they restrict it. They try and pull it down, but it's going to be expanding, right? You're like resisting the expansion of it. So my subtle senses are telling me that I taste the sweetness of life, and I feel my electromagnetic field expanding and connecting to others. And I see the bigger picture of my life experience. And I hear the clarity of my intuition. On a subtle sense, smell is my focus is feeling safe in the world, like I feel safe, right? But you might smell blood, or you might smell fire or oil, and those could trigger fight or flight, right? Those could trigger feeling unsafe, feeling threatened, or feeling like you need to defend yourself. This coherent, intentional attention is paying attention to those things. If you want to start practicing the art of observing, give yourself permission to pause, reflect on your experience in the moment. I am not the first to discover this and speak about it. There's a haiku. It's a Japanese poem. It's about syllables. It's about beats. It's about frequency. So the first is 3 lines, and the first one is 5 syllables. The second one is 7 syllables, and the third line is another 5 syllables. Here's an example of one that I created. Childlike presence, parasympathetic mode, quantum awareness. If I were to slow that down, childlike presence, that's 5, parasympathetic mode, that's 7. Quantum awareness, that's 5. So, this is a game that I invite you to play with yourself and others and see what happens. It's fun because then you start to observe your own thoughts and your own emotions with curiosity instead of judgment. And if you have challenges, they become obstacles, like an obstacle course, right? You just kind of like focus on the solution. So, that is the art of observing all of this, or something even better, and so it is.
Stay tuned next Friday for the next episode 6 about my hero's journey of becoming a spiritual grief guide. Thank you for tuning into the Quantum Spirituality Podcast. If this episode inspired you or brought value to your own healing journey, I invite you to join our Self Heal with Liz Patreon community, a sacred space where we go deeper together through guided practices, insights, and coherence body talk activations. Your support not only helps sustain this podcast, it nourishes the vibration we are all co-creating. You can find the link in the show notes. And until next time, all of this, or something even better that we cannot yet even comprehend, and so it is. Aho!